Hello viewers, welcome back to Ohio Airgun Shooter. In this video, I'm going to test out some of these H&N lead-free pellets, starting with the H&N Field Target Trophy Greens, which weigh 5.71 grains. And then I have the H&N Barracuda Green, which weigh in at 6.64 grains. And I will be testing them out in my Umarex Beretta Model 92 FS in this nickel or almost more of a stainless finish. For those of you who do not know, the Beretta 92 FS from Umarex is a CO2 powered pellet shooting repeater that utilizes these 8-shot rotary magazines, and it shoots and cycles very much like a revolver. Therefore, it has been given a nickname of Revolvermatic. So it's mechanically identical to, say, your Walther CP88, which is also from Umarex, or your Walther PPQ. I think it's CP99, and a few others that have the similar style rotary magazines where you open the slide forward, exposing the breech area where you install your rotary magazine. This is also single and double action. I have done a review of the Beretta 92 FS in the past. I will put a link to the video in the description below. But what I'm going to do today is test out these lead-free pellets that I recently purchased. I pretty much mostly have had lead pellets, therefore it's a little bit more difficult to shoot indoors, just with the lead. This does have a rifle barrel, so I always feel as though the spinning or the rifling kind of shreds the pellet as it's going through, therefore creating some kind of some lead dust. So I kind of limit to how much I shoot lead pellets indoors. I think I did try a couple lead-free pellets, the Gamma Raptor PBAs at the time, but they didn't shoot very well. So I want to try some better H&N lead-free pellets. So we'll be testing these out today. Now, again, the H&N Barracuda Greens, in lead, these weigh 10.65 grains. So the lead-free only weigh 6.64. So you're basically 4 grains lighter with the lead-free. And then these H&N Field Target Trophy Greens, I don't think I have anything in lead that's similar. I got RW's Hobbies, but they're more of a flat nose pellet. I think the closest thing I might have is Crosman Premiers, but I have the heavies, and they're like 10.5 grains. So I think they make like a 8 grain Crosman Premier. Might be a little lighter, or I think the Crosman Premier hollow points are about, I think, 8 grain or so. So we'll just be testing these out. It should help up the velocities a bit compared to lead. Accuracy wise, I'm still kind of looking for something that shoots very well in this Beretta 92 FS. So this will give me an opportunity to shoot more indoors to find that pellet, since this is an alternative to lead. So I hope that these H&N lead-free pellets will perform pretty well in the Beretta 92 FS from Umarex. I'm also going to try these lead-free Olympia shot domed pellets. I've tested these out in a couple other air pistols that I have, and they performed really well. So I'm going to use these as well. These weigh in at 5.5 grains. Now the Umarex Beretta 92 FS has a claimed velocity of up to 394 feet per second. It doesn't say in the owner's manual, but I'm assuming that's probably with your standard lead pellet. So I think, let me see, let me go back. I do have my results from a previous video, and with 7 grain pellets, I was using the RW's Hobbies. I got a high of 442 feet per second, and that achieved 4.12 joules. And then I tried the Crossman Premiers. These are 10.5 grain. These are the domed. And the highest that I achieved with those were 378 feet per second with 4.51 joules of energy. And then I also tried the heavy 10.65 grain H&M Barracudas, which are the lead version of the Barracuda green. The highest I got was 322 feet per second, and the joules were 3.32. And all those velocities were achieved in single action only. My highest in double action was 402 feet per second with the 7 grain hobbies, and then 318 with the 10.5 grain Crossman Premier, and then 302 feet per second with the H&M Barracudas, the 10.65 grains. So I had higher velocities in single action compared to double action. So what I'll do in this video is I'll start out with the Olympia Dome, which are the lightest at the 5.5 grain, and then I'll move up to the H&N Field Target Trophy greens, which were 5.7 grain, and then we'll move up to the heavier 6.64 grain H&N Barracuda greens. Now the nicest thing about these style of air guns is with these rotary magazines, if you have another version, you know, just a different type, like I have this Walther CP88, you know, two different air pistols, Beretta, Walther, same mechanically, both by Umarex, they both shoot the exact same cylinder magazine. So if you have one pistol and or if you have two, you already have, you know, one or two extra magazines that will fit in either one. So it kind of helps out with when you're shooting. You know, you can load up 4 magazines and you're ready to shoot. So all right, we'll move over to the table, do some chronograph chrony testing, see what velocities we get with these lead-free pellets, and then we'll do some accuracy testing as well. I will be using Daisy brand CO2 cartridges with a drop of Crossman Pelgun oil. Now on these, such as this Beretta 92FS, there's a little button on this side here which ejects the grip on the right side. It's different on my Walther CP88. I believe it ejects it from the left side. But these, you need to just flip this little lever down and just make sure your little brass tightening screw is down far enough to insert the CO2 cartridge, and then just twist it up to where you get it snug. Towards kind of holding the CO2 cartridge in, and I try to give it maybe just a little bit more of a little turn there, and then you just push this up to pierce the CO2 cartridge, and you're ready to go. And then just reinstall the grip. And there you go. Next, when it comes to loading these magazines, be sure the indexing teeth are facing the rear, and then just load your pellet from the rear of the cylinder like so. Just be sure to push it in far enough to where the skirt is flush. Make sure nothing protrudes out the front. Some longer pellets or pointed pellets will not work in these cylinders, these magazines, so it recommends either domed or flat nose pellets. And then once you have all 8 of them loaded up, just kind of go around, make sure they're snug in there. Try not to use, like if you're, like your thumb nail or fingernail. Sometimes you might put a little, especially with lead, with it being soft, you could put a little dent or maybe like a very small cut on the skirt. I don't know if that would affect accuracy at all, but just kind of just use the bottom or flush of your thumb or finger. So make sure none of them are loose and fall out, and you're ready to go. All right, I got my chronograph set up down there. It's set to feet per second. I got the Beretta 92 FS from Umarex. Gonna start out with the Olympia shot domed lead-free pellets that come in at 5.5 grains. I think I weighed these and they were more like 5.46, so just a little bit under the actual 5.5. I have 8 of them loaded up. I'm gonna shoot 8. Get some velocity numbers, allow a little bit of a CO2 cartridge warm up, and then we'll switch to the next pellet. Current temperature indoors is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Actually, my furnace is just getting ready to kick off, so it's nice and warm in here. Again, the claim velocity is 394 feet per second. I believe that's with lead pellets. In my previous test, we did achieve that, actually exceeded that. So we'll see what kind of velocities we get with the lighter lead-free pellets. Again, these are 5.5 grain, lead-free, 8 shots, fresh CO2 cartridge. I will be shooting in single action only. Safety off, hammer back. First shot, 475.9. 474.9. 466.6. 459.3. 451.1. 444.6. 443.6. 437.0. That was the last shot. So pretty good velocities with the 5.5 grain lead-free Olympia domed. Let's move to the Field Target Trophy Green. These are from H&N and they weigh 5.71 grains. I'm going to allow about a 10-minute warm-up. Just a little side note, I am shooting indoors. Proof that it's not too loud of an air pistol is that I have one cat still sitting here, Charlie. He didn't run off. And then little kitty, she's a little bit more, she doesn't like the pop of air guns, but she's sticking around as well. So little bit, you know, there's some proof that it's not too loud. So if it hasn't scared these guys away, it's not a very loud air pistol. So I would definitely say it's backyard friendly. All right, next up, the H&N Field Target Trophy Greens. These are 5.71 grain. I have 8 of them loaded up. Same CO2 cartridge in the Beretta 92 FS from Umarex. I've allowed about a 10-minute warm-up. My furnace just kicked on again, so it's right around 71 degrees Fahrenheit. So 8 more shots. Got pretty good numbers with the Olympia domes. So let's see how well these heavier 5.71 grain. So these about 0.2 grains heavier. Again, single action only. .468.0. 454.4. 448.0. 436.9. 431.5. 428.5. 425.3. 426.9. 424.3. That was the last shot. So, you know, another 8 shots, well above 400 feet per second. So we're well above the claimed velocity of the 394. But again, this is with lighter lead-free pellets. So not bad at all. I'm going to allow another 10-minute warm-up, and then we'll move to the heavier H&M Barracuda grains. All right, on to the next pellet, the H&M Barracuda grain. These are 6.41 grains, also lead-free. Have 8 more loaded up. Same CO2 cartridge in the Beretta 92FS from Umarex. Again, single action only. Again, about a 10-minute warm-up. It is still 71 degrees Fahrenheit. 430.9. 414.0. 414.0. 410.8. 408.4. 396.0. 386.0. 379.5. And that was the last shot. So, you know, quite, half, you know, over 400 feet per second. We dropped below the 400 feet per second. That was the third magazine off the same CO2 cartridge. These do use quite a bit of CO2, so CO2 level could be dropping, as well as with the CO2 cooldown. So, but still, you know, pretty good velocities with the 6.41 grain Barracuda greens. Let's move on to the accuracy testing. All right, for the accuracy testing, I'll be shooting at a paper target at a distance of 6 yards. I'll be starting with the Olympia shot domed. These are the 5.5 grain lead free. I'll do 2 magazines, 8 rounds each, starting with the left target, and then I'll move to the right target. I'm not so much aiming for the bullseye. You know, it's just I want to see if I can get this to group. I haven't adjusted the sights at all. The rear sight is adjustable. As you can see, this slide wasn't locking back. This front screw was loose. This is something you need to be aware of. That's why I purchased the aftermarket. Actually, it's a stainless spring screw, spring, pin, and screw. And yeah, it's just something you gotta watch out for, because if this becomes loose and you just release the slide and let it slide forward, you know, like kind of slam forward, you can strip that out very easily. So just double check and make sure that's tight. That's why I have the tendency to hold the front when I release the slide, but this is definitely loose. I mean, I got 2 good turns out of that, so it was definitely coming loose. So that's why it wasn't locking back on camera. So I paused it for a minute because I wanted to see what was going on, and I kind of had an idea. So yeah, when you release this, just kind of hold the slide, that way it doesn't slam forward. But I might see if they still make those aftermarket pins, because I would definitely like to get one for this. Plus it comes with the stainless Allen head screws, which I think would look much better with the grips. So all right, got the Olympia loaded up. My screw is tight. All right, let's try this again. Sorry about that, but at least you got to witness something that can possibly happen with these. All right, I'm gonna aim, start with the left target. My aim is just below that black dot. Single action only. There is no white dots on these. I'm gonna add some. like I did with my Walther CP88. So for now, they're just black. This is a fresh CO2 cartridge. Again, it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm aiming just below that red dot or black dot. I am rested just with my elbows. That was low. That one was low. They're low, but they're grouping. Not a bad group. That was the last shot. Yep. So, very good group. All right. 8 more. Right target. So these Olympias so far have shot very well in everything that I've used them in. So very impressive for a lead-free pellet. All right, same CO2 cartridge to the right target. Was that in the same hole? I've kind of pulled that one. I think that's the last shot, maybe. All right, one more. I think that's it. Yep. So still not a bad group. I'm just curious. I want to get a better look at that. Sorry, I forgot to zoom in the camera, but kind of see where I'm shooting. See, look at that. This will open up a bit, but pretty good groups. It's grouping. So yeah, these Olympias have shot pretty well in everything that I've shot them in so far. So let's move on to the H&N Field Target Trophy greens and see how those do. All right, next up, the H&N Field Target Trophy green. These are 5.7 grains. Sorry about that last session of shooting. I forgot to zoom in my camera because I was talking about that screw. I just got sidetracked. But same thing, 8 shots with the left target first, and then I'll move to the right. My aim will still be right below that black dot. So those Olympias group, I mean, they group pretty good. All right, so let's see how these do. Same CO2 cartridge, by the way. Low, but good windage. They seem pretty good too. You know, it was a little opened up and low, but as it came up, they seem to be grouping and landing right where I'm aiming. So I think that was the last shot. Let me double check. Yep, that was the last one. So not a bad group. 8 more, right target. So they seem to be doing pretty good. This will be the fourth magazine on the same CO2 cartridge. So I'll just try to use the same CO2 cartridge for all 3 pellets. See how we do. All right, right target, same aim. Low and just a tad to the right. I think this sight can only be adjusted for windage. I don't think you can do elevation. But it seems to be right where it should be. I mean, again, this is only 6 yards. Seems to me everything's going right where it should be. I kind of pulled that one a little bit. Just getting a little shaky. That was the last shot, but again, a good group. Let's go take a look. Let me zoom out, and that way I can walk down there. I mean, yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, I'm aiming right here, started out down here, and just everything seems to be centered. Same thing right here. I started out down here, it came up, and everything's just below, but look at that group. That's a good group. Again, only 6 yards, but, you know, I'm just testing these pellets out indoors. So, let's move to the Barracudas. All right, next up, the H&N Barracuda grain. These are 6.41 grain, again, lead-free. So far, these lead-free pellets seem to be shooting pretty good in my CO2 pistols. I don't have anything like break barrel wise in 177 caliber. I do have 22 though, so I might have to try some of these in 22 caliber, or eventually break down and buy a 177 caliber air rifle. But 8 more shots loaded up, same CO2 cartridge. See, again, it's not locking, so I wonder if that screw's coming loose again. Let me check that. There's my screwdriver. There it is. I don't know if that's going to be an issue. Let's see. Yeah, it was loose again. So I might have to put some Loctite in there, or just keep an eye on it, or swap it out. I'm surprised that's coming loose just by moving the slide forward. There we go. All right, 8 shots. I'll start again with the left target. Same CO2 cartridge. So this is shots 10 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. So what? 40 shots. Safety off. All right, same aim point. Let me zoom in. I start to talk and then I forget to zoom it in here. Just bear with me. I mean, at least this way you can see that this is all legit. You're seeing exactly how I'm shooting, from what distance. Yeah, and you know, just it's real time testing. So, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to bring you guys the most accurate real time testing that I can do. You know, at least indoors. And again, this is only 6 yards, but I think it's a good enough distance for an air pistol, especially of power. You know, that's powered by CO2. You know, to get some initial testing and to work on your grouping. I mean, then you can take it outside and stretch it out, you know, a little further to 10 yards. But indoors, it's 6 yards, 6.5 yards. It's pretty much all I have. So it works for me. All right, left target. Same aim point, just below the black dot. H&N Barracuda green. 6.41 grains. That hit right where I was aiming. That was a little lower. Sounds like the CO2 is getting lower. I may get one more magazine. We will see. But it's still grouping. I think that was the last shot. Yep, alright, 8 more. Hopefully I got enough CO2 left. This will be, what, 48 shots. Alright, right target. Same aim point. So far so good. I mean, really good group with these. That was dead center. A little bit just to the right. Oh, I pulled out. A little antsy on that one. Fully rifled barrel. That might have been a last shot. Nope. That was the last shot. So, not bad. Let's go take a look. I mean, it sounded like the CO2 was dropping, but I mean, that's good groups. I mean, I'm aiming right here. So, I mean, they're landing, aiming right here. This is just resting on top of my sights. So, good group, and another good group. So, it is shooting these quite well at a distance of 6 yards. So, I'm pretty impressed. So, let's go back to the review table and just give you my thoughts. Alrighty, well, today's video wasn't so much about the pistol, the air pistol itself, the Beretta 92FS from Umarex. It was more about testing out these H&N lead-free pellets in it. I mean, I guess it is kind of about the air gun, because I've been trying to find something lead-free that shoots really good in it. And the results in this video show that it shoots all of these very well. Good velocities, good groups. My highest with the Olympia 5.5 grains was 475.9 feet per second. They gave us 2.77 foot-pounds of energy and 3.76 joules. With the H&N Field Target H&N Trophy Green, I had a high of, those are 5.71 grains. I had a high of 468 feet per second, 2.78 foot-pounds of energy, and 3.77 joules. And then with the H&N Barracuda, the 6.64 grain, I had a high of 430.9 feet per second. Let me see here. What did I say? 430.9 feet per second, 2.74 foot-pounds of energy, and then 3.71 joules. No, 3.74 joules that was. So, not bad. Good velocity numbers. Good enough foot-pounds. I mean, that's plenty of energy for plinking. Groups were good. Again, at 6 yards. Not bad at all. One of the issues, as you saw, that I was having with this was the screw came loose. Another issue that I kind of been having was certain magazines. Like when I pull the hammer back, it's really sticky. Like sometimes it feels like it's getting hung up on something. Now it doesn't do it with a magazine out, but only with the magazine in. I don't know if I've put some silicone actually kind of like a grease in there. So I don't know if these have burrs or something's getting hung up. I might need to try to maybe buff these, smooth them out a little better. Or if there's something in here, maybe I just need to break it in more. But for some reason it just feels like it gets hung up. Now it's fine when I do double action, but when I try to bring the hammer back, like right now it's nice and smooth. But say I put a magazine in here, see, that one's fine. Try another one. See, it gets a little hung up, like there's a burr or something. So maybe it's just this one. It's only been doing it with the ones that came with this pistol. If I use the Walther, I have no problems at all. So I'm just wondering if there's a burr or something on these magazines. See, this one's fine. So maybe it's just the one. Well, these come with two, so I think maybe just this one has a burr or something on it and it's getting hung up. So I might try to buff these out, maybe polish, maybe even just polish the outside of it, maybe even the inside where this little you can kind of see it's kind of sloped in there, where these kind of sit in there. So I just don't know if it's getting hung up. I'll get that in a second, unless it's the indexer, but I don't think it is, because like I said, it works fine when I do double action. So, and I just heard a big old crack of thunder out there right now. Here in the US, there's some pretty intense weather on the move across most of it right now. We're getting some thunderstorms today, and I guess we're supposed to be getting anywhere up, certain areas up to 15 or 16 inches of rain, like through Kentucky all the way to like Arkansas, I think. So if you're all in that area, that region, that path of the storm, I wish you all the best and just stay safe. But yeah, I mean, these pellets shoot really, really well. Let me get my Sharpie. I think it's a pretty good little gun stand. But yeah, not a bad air gun. I mean, it likes these pellets, so I can definitely do some more testing with these. But so far, these all seem to group pretty good. Good velocities, good energy, and very good groups. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.